Hello everybody, and welcome to my channel I'm Not Good at Art Yet, where we talk about art in all of its various forms, and admit that we are beginners, and it's okay to be the worst one in the room. So, the thing I wanted to talk about, not many people think of it as an art, but languages. I like learning languages. I really like learning languages. I spend a lot of time working on studying different languages, from Japanese to Russian to Spanish. And as of now, I can speak a total of English. I can speak some Russian. I've lived in Russia for a while. And I can get by in Spanish if I really need to. But for the most part, I don't really speak other languages. I'm not a polyglot. And yet, I still learn languages for fun. And that might sound crazy, especially in this YouTube world of where, people speak 8, 9, 10 languages, hyper polyglot. I only really speak English, really. But that's fine. I enjoy the process. I can read Russian just fine, and that's enough for me in a lot of cases. So I bet you're asking at this point, why do I learn languages? Yeah, I would love to speak these languages. I would love to be able to go to Japan, for example, and speak Japanese. I'd love to go to Spain and communicate with the natives in their own language. But I feel like in some ways that's not quite the point of why I learn languages. Yeah, it'd be cool. That is the goal. But the reason I learn languages is a different reason. I learn languages because they fascinate me. When I was younger, I started learning Russian. Russian is really the only language I speak that's similar to English, though I'm still not quite good at it. The reason I chose Russian, well, first I just thought it sounded cool. I've always liked the sound of Russian. And the other reason was I did ballroom dance. I was a ballroom dancer, and those who know ballroom dance, there's a lot of Russians in ballroom dance. I would go to the national competitions, and there'd be people speaking Russian around me, and I just wanted to understand them. And so I started learning it. And I worked on it, and I couldn't understand it. But the alphabet fascinated me, and so I would just open books and I would sound out letters. And it sounded nice in my mouth. I don't know if other people have had that experience with the language where I loved the way it felt speaking it, even if I was completely wrong, even if my accent's completely off. I enjoyed reading something that I previously would not have been able to read and being able to sound it out. And because I worked on Russian, I actually worked on Russian for quite a few years. I ended up being able to go to Russia for a little bit and speak it and talk to the people there. And, it was difficult. I still had struggles. I had studied it for a long time. I had read whole books in Russian. And yet I was stuck on the phone for 30 minutes trying to order a pizza because I didn't know the word for change. And so the smallest things can catch you, and there's so much language. And I think that's what excites me about it. No matter how much time I spend learning Russian, there's always going to be more Russian. There's always going to be another language you can learn. There's always more. And why are languages so fascinating? As a kid, I always thought it was insane. I could look at one thing. I could look at, a desk. And to me, a desk is a desk. The word desk is a desk. Simple as that. But in Spain, it's something else. I actually don't even know the word for desk in Spanish. But they have a word for it, and that's what they associate. When they see a desk, they think of that word, whatever that word is. And that fascinates me. People see the world in a completely different way than you do simply by the language they speak. Different words come to their mind when they see stuff. Different phrases and expressions. I always enjoy hearing people from Spain or Russia when they speak English, because when they speak, they'll use Russian phrases in English, and it's kind of like an inside joke almost to me. I'm probably the only one laughing. because I understood where that came from, why they said it in that particular way. That sounds kind of weird to a native speaker, but it would make perfect sense to a Russian speaker. The other thing is learning languages, even if I'm not very good at it, I've made so many friends through it. Even just attempting it. Right now I'm working on learning Arabic. And a guy from Egypt moved into my apartment complex. We became friends. We would never have been friends if I wasn't learning Arabic, even though I can't say a word. I'm literally just learning the alphabet right now. I cannot communicate. But because I'm putting in the effort, we were able to talk, and from that, we just became friends. Language, in essence, is communication. Successful language is whatever communicates the most efficiently. It doesn't distract from your message. It doesn't distract from the purpose. And that's why I love language. You have to incorporate all these rules into your brain. You have to figure out the pronunciation system. You have to get to a point where your brain processes it in split seconds. All just so you can be a normal person in a different place. In short, I love learning languages because I love to learn languages. I love to communicate. I love to figure out how do other people think. And even though I may not be fluent in a million languages, or even two, I still will continue to learn it because I enjoy it. And one day, I believe I'll be fluent in some of these languages, whatever that means to me. And I'm okay being bad at it. I'm okay going and speaking with a funny accent and saying ridiculous things in another language. In fact, I kind of like being bad at a language because I can get away with saying some funny things and they'll go, "Oh, no, no, no. You don't know what you said." When I knew exactly what I said. But it's just kind of funny. There's something fun about being a beginner. And maybe that's why I enjoy languages, because I'll always be a beginner whenever I start a new one. Well, that'll be the end of this video. It's short. I just kind of wanted to talk about languages a little bit. There wasn't a specific structure or goal to this. I just felt like talking about it a little bit. Now tell me, do you enjoy learning languages? If so, which languages are you learning? Make sure to comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.